All right, welcome in everyone. We're starting. We're back with Reverse 1999. We're gonna we're gonna try to do Fatutu's Anecdote story for today. So I know it still has 3 days and 7 hours left. So we're gonna start. We're gonna start right now and see how far we get. Hopefully, I know it's 8 parts, but we'll see how. Hopefully, it's not as long. The sea breeze still whispers. So part one, the silent grave. They're gone to the depths of the sea. Wait. Let me just redo this one again. I just want to check something for a sec. I had to forget to post my social, but I didn't realize that's gonna go that quick. All right, let's start over. The silent grave. They're gone to the depths of the sea. Waves lap gently at the reef, just as they always have, washing over the precious white sands. As the sun sets, plum of smoke rises from the cozy homes of the islanders. The glowing sea mother's eye lanterns hang high above, shimmering the dust, all pointing the way back home. For Tutu, let's do one final check on the canoes. We don't want to tail tipping into the sea during tomorrow's race.
Leave it to me.
Toyo's been rattling with excitement for days. If he falls in, I doubt it'll be the canoe's fault. Besides, brother, you be the one that has to dive in after him. He swims a lot faster than I do. The canoes are nearly lined up at Dunn's Beach, each showing different degrees of wear. Painted and adored by various Nakuta's hands, they stand like a row of strange, silent gravestones.
Oh,
We haven't made a new canoe in a long time.
Yes.
These old ones enough to carry all the young folks to Nakutajo, Parawa to Etilti, circle around the Milti and Valpuna, then come back to Mela.
is that so?
Not if you count me. By next year, I'll be old enough to paddle too. Hearing the faint mix of complaints and anticipation in his sister's voice, Kamuta falls silent for the moment as the sea breeze stirs around them.
Listen.
For Tutu, for next year's canoe race around the island, I'll build you a new boat. How about that? We'll find a tree with the straightest trunk, shape the prongs just right. When the wind and wave comes, you'll ride them like they're part of you.
But
Kamuta, Fatutu will have her own canoe, one that no one can catch because she'll be the fastest on the water. He paints a shining vision of the new canoe. Behind him, a wave looms silently above them, as tall as a mountain, like a curtain of black. Fatutu. Brother, Toa, where are you? Where did you go?
Wait.
Wait for me. I'm coming. The sea rises and falls, and the girl's thin voice fades under the rush of waves. But no one answers. The water wraps around her with familiar weight, and Fatutu knows exactly where it's carrying her. I want to go home. I've been gone too long, brother. Toa, where are you now? Fatutu floats through the open sea, eyes straining towards the horizon where ocean meets sky, unbroken, unending. Her island has sunk beneath the waves. Gone. It's all gone. Gone. Millie. Papuna. Millie. Our islands. I shouldn't have left. Why did I leave? So is this actually happened or is it a dream? Her question is swallowed up like a drop lost in the ocean, without ripple, without reply. Fatutu! Wake up! Wake up, Fatutu! So it was a dream, I think. Sloan? Kamuta? Realizing the nightmare is over, Fatutu immediately shuts her mouth. That was another bad dream, wasn't it? Fatutu looks for words, but only nods. Salon lifts her shell necklace, placing one shell gently against Fatutu's forehead. Fatutu lifts her own in reply and presses it into Salon's brow. Swept into the tide, scattered by the wind, gone into the mist. Let the siren's song not lead me astray. Let nightmare's voice not steal me from my home. The shell's warning keeps me on course. Its groove shows me the path. I will return. I have returned. You taught me that song, remember? Salon's words pull Fatutu out of the old cold sea of her nightmare at last.
You mean
That was the day you and Toa stuck out to sea and got caught in the storm, right? I want to pick Compase from TT that day. Just one more spring from my sea mother's eye. I didn't listen to Shell's guidance, and I talked Toa into taking me. Our canoe had barely left the shore, but the wind suddenly swept us out to sea. Toa paddled with everything he had, clutching the Compase the whole time. Brother was holding back tears when he realized you were gone. He was so worried. Remember how you and Toa got such a scolding? For a long while after, I was terrified, afraid that making it back had just been a dream, afraid that maybe the ocean has taken Toa after all. So you sang to me, I will return. I have returned. Salone, how are you doing now? I mean, since we came here, we don't live as closely as we used to. It's not an easy question to answer. Before offering each other comfort, the two friends begin to feel how small their tribe is now, and how fragile. Salone tears fall hot on Fatutu's arm, cooling over her tan skin. Fatutu pulls her in tightly, their shell necklaces knock together with a soft sound. I'm sorry, Fatutu. At least it's nice here. I learned to write their language. I've been to their library. I learned so much about the outside world. But it's nothing like what we imagined. We believe in those stories so much that we never thought to understand what was really out there. We never thought we'll leave, even when we knew how it would all end. I miss Toa. I miss Kamuta. I miss our island, our home. Slow rivers of tears carve across Fatutu's skin, sharp and with grief. She pats Salon's back. She can do nothing else, trying to hold back their shared sorrow and like standing against a falling wave. I'm here, Salon. We won't lose each other again. Brother and Toa has already reached where they're meant to be. Their souls rest in the depths of the sea. They aren't truly lost. They'll always be there to watch over us. Is that true? They feel hollow, like she's not sure what to believe anymore, but they feel like the right word to say to keep her friends and her afloat.
Give it to me.
Our home, our island. It will survive as long as we do. Sonetta stops quietly, a paper form in her hand, signed with small, careful writing. Timekeeper, Miss Fatutu has submitted a request. She's asking for a form of arcane skill that can put her into a peaceful sleep, or, if not possible, then any medicine that might help. Medicine?
I'm not
She's been plagued by nightmares. She didn't explain what they were about. Perhaps she didn't want to relive them.
I see.
I can understand her pain. Did she say anything else? No, Timekeeper. She passed the form to me and left without a word. I must note that Miss Fatutu's request was written exceptionally well. By the book, really. Not many people manage to be that precise. The foundation forms are painfully tedious. It's nothing short of remarkable that Fatutu managed to navigate through them herself.
Alright.
I'll see what I can do to streamline the application and approval process for everyone in the suitcase. We don't need to be burdened with this kind of unnecessary paperwork.
Well,
As for our friends, Fatutu, if she wants to rid herself of memories she no longer wants to revisit, then I think there might be a better way than arcane skills or meditation.
it's fine.
But it'll take time. To be continued. Part 2. Give me a remedy that sends me into slumber. Or better yet, back to the good old days. No, Toa, brother. I'm coming to save you. The storm is coming. The shell. Our island. I'm sorry. Fatutu lies on the examination bed. Eyes shut tight, brows furrowed, mumbling in her sleep, like fighting against the weight of her dream. It's strange to see Miss Fatutu look like that. I don't know if I've ever seen her so troubled. She peers through the window, watching with quiet worries. Timekeeper, it's strange. When she's awake, she never shows any sadness at all. Even when she first submitted her request, she didn't seem afraid or sad. I felt Ali clinical, like she was only asking for cough syrup. She's been so warm and kind to everyone here. She never let on about this, even as though she is doing so much to help others. I suppose I don't understand her. If she's hurting so much inside, why wouldn't she let us know?
So, is that...
Timekeeper. Could it be that she doesn't trust us?
well...
Asking for her help may not be her first instinct right now. The Foundation looks out for everyone. All she had to do was ask. I had hoped she would want to be friends.
Trust me.
I'm sure she does, in her own way. We just need to give her some more time. We'll be here for her, but she has to settle in first, in order to feel safe. Understood. Let's hope Mesmer Jr. artificial sommelier theory can help Miss Fatutu recover. You may not want to set your expectation too high. This treatment is far from the pancreas. The therapist steps out from the recovery room, pristine as ever, speaking plainly and without pretense. I re-elevated this patient earlier. I had been preparing to guide her into a dream state, but before I could, she has already entered one on her own. It's just as you see there. But there's nothing so complex about her nightmares. Nothing that requires artificial sommelier therapy. This is nothing less than pure and unfiltered homesickness. Is there any way to ease Miss Fatutu's pain? Ease her pain?
I reject.
As I said, you may be underestimating our capabilities, or perhaps I should say underestimating the nature of her suffering. I would never argue with the artificial somnolence therapy is anything other than a remarkable leap in science. It helped correct behavior issues caused by the storm. Paranoia, compulsion, violence, those things. Yes. But it can't erase or even realize the pain. At best, dream guiding might often offer a momentary distraction from the nightmares, but it would still be a false comfort, escapism. We can't rely on artificial somnolence to save her. The rebuke leaves no room for argument.
I was not sure.
Miss Mesmer, are you saying you won't treat Fatutu? I'm saying I have no treatment suitable for her. All I can offer is some help falling asleep. I wouldn't recommend anything more than a hot bath and a cup of warm milk.
I see.
She'll wake up soon. Despite what I said, I believe she is capable of overcoming her pain, but there's nothing more I can do to help. With that, the non-nonsense therapist turns and walks away, leaving no opening for further questions. Fatutu. Her gaze lingered on the girl beside her. Then, without a word, she looks away again, quietly, unnoticed. There must be something we can do. Let me think. Some things can't be undone, like glass shattered across the floor, too broken to piece back together. Her present problem seems to be as daunting. Side by side, the two leans against the wall in silence. They're searching for a way to heal something as abstract as heartache. Yet suddenly, footsteps interrupts her thought. Light, hurried like wind chimes, jingling with urgency. Fatutu! Where's Fatutu? Is she here? Is she in there? She grabs the sleeve, then someone's hand, eyes open with concern. Before anyone can answer, she's already flung herself towards the window, peering at Fatutu lying on the recovery bed. She presses up onto the glass. Fatutu, wake up! Fatutu! Miss Baracola. Sonetta starts to step forward, but a hand reaches out to stop her. Her superior gives a slight shake of the head. Wait. I have something very important to tell you, Fatutu. Her voice reaches through, and Fatutu stares from her bed, her eyes flutter open softly, searching for a calling voice. You're awake, Fatutu. She leans toward her like a dolphin sailing up over sunlit waves in an unprecedented motion. Baracola? Chiriro, who else would it be? Time to wake up. There's something far more important than sleeping to be done now. What is it? It's trade season. The trade season is about to begin. To be continued. Part 3. Lanterns in the Night. Light the halls, let not the musician play in the dark. The Festival of Trade sparks a lively wave of chatter. The atmosphere shifts entirely.
Is that so?
There's a trade season here too? I never knew. Semente, think about it. When you used to trade your goods, they would be passed along through more trades and end up in further places. So, with so many goods and people moving around, it's only natural to hold a festival here. I guess that kind of makes sense. It makes complete sense, Fatutu. Just think, now, of course, not every place people trade is like your island, so there aren't any ships around, but it's really very similar. The one we made here is called, She darts her hand backwards. Her nimble fingers portray an obvious message in the precise and desperate motion. Help. The Suitcase Trade Fair.
Fantastico.
See, yes. The Suitcase Trade Fair. What a lovely name. Simple, but with a solid musician quality. Oh, really? And out there, it's not just a Nukato trade season and the Suitcase Trade Fair, but there's so many more like the Gem Sparkle Fair, the Fruit Show Market, the Lakeside Market, the Secondhand Beach. All year round, there's always another market.
You mean
For the whole year? Then, when do you start? Wait, then when do you outsiders ever stop?
oh, how interesting.
We don't. Everyone's always on the move from one trade season to the next. Round and round. That's... The island's girl's eyes widen. The sight and sound of the outside world leaves her momentary stunned. That's incredible! Back home, once the trade season ended and the ships left, we stopped thinking about it entirely. We'll go back to repairing our fishing boat and keeping the pets out of the fruit trees. Oh, nice hangout. Do you guys do anything fun? We prepped our canoes for the race. Short and polished shells, and kick a ball around before the sun went down. We wouldn't think about it again until the ship returns, and then The sailor and merchants would trade her fish, fruit, and crafts for other goods. We always just waited for someone to come and trade with us. Nukatai people need time to live our lives, time to relax.
Oh?
Mercento, but the trade season is still important to the Nukatai people, isn't it?
Yes.
Of course, during the trade season, we trade for medicine, tobacco, and dye. Once, I traded for some little turmeric flowers that I shared with Salone, one for each of us. And once a butterfly made of tin, but the sea air rusted it all away only a few days later. The trade season has always meant a lot to the Nukatais. Kindred spirits, Baracola lights up and clasps Fatutu's hand in hers, as if anchoring herself to the newfound certainty. And the suitcase trade fair is important too.
Oh, how interesting.
We have a huge festival, 2 days long, with vendors, customers, and everyone involved. Hearing this, the usual composed sonata draws a sharp breath. That is why, Fatutu, we truly, truly need you. The passionate young musician locks eyes with her, holding such a sincere and joyful grease that Fatutu can't help but grab her hands.
Leave it to me.
Is there anything I can help with? I'll do my best. If the suitcase trade fair is anything like a Nukatai trade season, then it's nothing like it. The musician energy surges into crescendo in a tempo impossible to fully keep up with. What I mean is, we haven't nearly got enough goods to sell. We need to design our invitation, and the venue setup will still need to be figured out. When it comes to holding a trade fair, we're nowhere near as experienced as the Nukatai. But we're already moving full speed ahead with preparations, and She pats her chest with elegant pride. I intend to grace this trade fair with a musical performance, a show for ages. Now, Fatutu, we have but one major problem. What kind of problem? The furious energy comes crashing to a focal point. Fatutu seems unable to imagine what sort of problem there could be. We must light up the night.
Oh no.
You see, the suitcase trade fair is set to last 2 days and 1 night, but we run into some issues because we don't have a light for the nighttime. The gifted musician is nearly as capable as improving events as she is with music, but still trips over a sour note. Luckily, someone is able to carry the tune.
I'm sorry.
Here's the situation. We have a researcher in the wilderness who's using our backup power for some experiments.
I think so.
I suspect this energy usage has gone well beyond what he noted for an official application.
Well,
And more than that, we have a woman who depends on a steady supply of power to keep her medical device operating. As you can see, we're in a predicament. The energy reserve inside the suitcase aren't quite stretched. We can provide lighting from sunset to about 10 p.m., but after that, she suddenly shifts her gaze towards the musician. The bow is arisen, and the stage is hers once more. After that, we'll be cast into total darkness. In the dark, vendors won't see their crates, customers won't see the goods, and no one will be able to see me playing. An unspeakable tragedy, I'm sure you'll agree. Just imagine a lonely pitch black performance is enough for her to conjure a well of tears at the corner of her eyes. Hands still held tightly in the musician's delicate grip, Fatutu can't help but start whirling alongside her.
Leave it to me.
I have an idea. We can make the sea mother's eyes just like we did on the boats. They'll stay lit all night long. If we can make enough of them, they can light up the festival long after it gets dark. She reaches over to wipe away Barracola's tears. The gesture is natural, unthinking, intimate. I'll even set up extra sea mother's eyes around your stage. That way, everyone will be able to see you shine like a star above the ocean, and you play as you play. Barracola's tears come to a sudden stop, and she looks deeply into her friend's eyes. Then, she throws her arms around her with an emotional hug, bursting into even louder sob. You're just... The words tumble out like notes from melodies she never quite finished. In the end, she still can't say exactly what kind of girl this islander is. To be continued. Part 4, The Last Compass Grass. Our guide through storms and waves. Strips of palm bark cover the ground. Bundled composure, sealed jars of animal oil, and basket of clean seashells. A handcrafted windmill turning into a breeze, a box of pigment ground from scorched reef rock, a nukutai, and a musician who sails with the tide. Fatutu, look! What are we seeing? She holds up.
Oh, that looks like so much fun.
She holds up a piece of tree bark to her face, peeking through 2 holes like a child discovering something new. I found this. I found one too. Fatutu finds another piece of bark, lifts it in front of her face, and speaks through the cut-out mouth hole. I look like I'm from the forest. Doesn't that mean I'm a druid? Druidi? A strange news story, a familiar word, and a clumsy pronunciation.
Oh, is that
You've been reading.
Yes.
Salon was teaching me. It's fun to read all the world's stories. I'm still learning, so I'm not very fast. But they talk about so many things I never even heard of before.
Fantastical.
You're doing amazing already, Fatutu. She follows Fatutu's instructions, untying the composure and dipping each strand into the oil, one by one. The smell is... It's very special, I must say. Composure has many uses. It's a medical herb. It helps with stomach pain, inflammation, warts. Before the ships ever came to Nukatayo, we often used it to help cure ourselves. When we first started trading with outsiders for their medicine, many of the elders didn't trust it. They call it poison. They only believe in our island's herbs. But composure alone can't heal everything. She learns the importance of having medicine on hand, and many times over during her sea voyages. To continue to the Nukatai, endurance is a virtue. If you get sick at sea, there's no shore to dock at. You can't stop. We ride out storms and waves, cast our net, haul the catch, and return home when they're full. Even if you're hurt, you do your part. When you're back on the island, your kid will help you.
Oh,
Have you gone through something like that?
yes.
Yes, we were at sea, and the lightning storm hit. The whole sky turned blood red, and the lightning split the waves. Everyone was soaked, the boat pitched high, and we clung to the rails with all we had so we wouldn't fall overboard. Barracola can't help but picture the vivid detail. He had seen how terrifying a storm could be on the open ocean, but that was in the relative safety of the cruise liner. I heard lightning strikes a crate. It cracks open, and our hollow fruits and red snappers roll into the sea. That was the scariest trip we ever had.
Oh no.
How did you make it back?
Oh.
We simply shut our eyes and sailed through the storm. We put on a charm made from burnt composite roots. It helps keep lightning away. Maricola runs her fingers across the root in her hands. It twists the shape soft and dry to the touch. Before we left, we consulted the shell's guidance. It told us we returned safely. But the shell doesn't tell you what will happen, only how it ends. When we got back, I looked at the root. They turned to black ashes, and the wind has carried them away. Wow. I never imagined these leafy things could be so magical. Composure. She picks one from Barracola's hands. The dry plants cure slightly. It leaves dull without water. Composure used depends a lot on how it's grown. On Nucatile, there are many types. The kind we use for sea mother's eyes is the most common. It needs sunlight, so we plant it in a bright place. It stores up the sun's light during the day and glows in the dark. When we return from sea, the light of the sea mothers lends us back to safety. The light of the sea mother's eyes leads us back to safety. The kind that wards off lightning is planted high up, in a place where it can witness lightning firsthand. That's how it learns to avoid it. We climbed to the highest cliff on the island and scattered the seeds there. The medical kind. Well, some we grow by the shoreline, some near fruit trees, and others have them planted directly in the sea. She lists the growing methods one by one, but her voice sinks as she continues. These are the last compressor. The last? Yes, the very last for Mukatayo. After this, we won't plant them again. We won't grow them anymore. Her hand suddenly trembles as she holds this fading piece of home. Oh, Fatutu, but are you sure? Can we really use these for the sea mother's eyes, just to light up the trade fair? Is that really okay?
Leave it to me.
She smiles, though it doesn't quite reach where it should. Salone and the other Nukatais, we all agreed already. Miss Timekeeper, our friends in the suitcase, and the Foundation staff, they all helped us so much. We want to do this. We should do this. Letting the compassion light the sea mother's eyes once more is a beautiful ending for them. If we just leave them tied in the corner, they'll just be irregular grass, not the compassion Nucatile. But... She can see her friends is speaking with conviction. Miss Pericola, the sea mother's eyes will light up your stage. I'm so very happy about that. Let's finish these together, okay? Just like we did on the boat. Thanks for the alert, Raven. And we're gonna take a break since I snooze the ads, but we're gonna have the ads go before we start the next part. Alright, let's go back with the story. Part 5, Nature's Solution. Like all good stories, this one has a wise druid too. The night is quiet. A metallic knock raps on the door, careful and a little hesitant. With a soft click, the door opens on its own, spilling out a warm yellow glow. She peeks her face in, almost like a dolphin bobbing her head out of the water. A figure is waiting under the lamplight, just like the story said. Calm as a tree. Hello. Green eyes look into hers, patient, ready to listen. Pardon me, I know it's late. I'm worried you might already be resting. No need to be so formal, Miss Musician. Nightfall is the only time she could squeeze in to come visit the reclusive lady. I have a question, and it's really quite important to me, so if it concerns me, I'll happy to offer what help I can. Please ask. Baracola twists her fingers into her skirt, the hem bunched in her hands. The druid before her holds a quiet authority. She hopes for, but also fears, the answer. Miss Druvis, I wanted to know, is there a way to transplant compositor? Even a short rest between beats makes her heart clench. You mean you want to grow composite inside the suitcase? Yes, is that possible? Even in my time, it was rare. It only grows on remote islands far away. For a short time, plants like those became madly popular. Then, not long after really, they were replaced by pills and miracle elixirs. The lady walks alongside creepy vines and silent trunks as she combs her memories. I suppose it was a matter of patience. There aren't many willing to wait around for a plant to grow. That's part of why, even when trade reaches those islands, Kalpasha never made it way beyond them.
And
I'm afraid that plant, like people, have homelands. Kalpasha cannot thrive anywhere else. The entrance strikes Baracola with all the force of a broken string in the middle of a performance, and carries with it the very same hot panic. You mean there's no way at all? I don't know much about plants, but what if I'm very careful, like incredibly super careful? Even if I might only grow one. Plants are much pickier than you might imagine. Perhaps you might plant it here, yes, but whatever grows from those seeds will no longer be composite. You mean it just be a normal grass?
yes.
The people of Nugatai know their soils. They grow their composite in ways passed down through generations. It's more than just grass. It's just an integrated part of their culture. And culture cannot be easily transplanted. But what about Fatutu? She used the last composure to make those sea motorcycles. It's my fault. A quiet sigh. You came here for your friends? I wanted to help her, but everything seems more simple in my head. Your friend already came here to see me earlier.
Yes.
She knew the nature of the composure. She knew what would happen when it left the island. Still, she asked me whether there was any magic that could keep Hansher alive outside its home. It was a simple, beautiful wish. One heartbreaking to answer.
I understand.
She thought I might be like a druid from a story she read, someone who could do anything. She placed her hopes in me. If we were truly inside the story, I would rewrite this chapter for her. But the story of nature can only be written by nature itself. Thank you, Miss Juvis. A vine curls up to her shoulder. An open leaf. An open sleeve brushing her cheek. A small tree planted nearby, stirred awake by arcane skill, gently offers its presence. This is a lumen tree. Its leaves and buds can glow. Break off a twig and place it in the water. It will grow roots. Once the roots clumps, plant them in soil, and the branch will grow back into a tree. Perhaps it will help you light up the night? The water in the vase gently ripples as the lumen branch sways. Following guidance from her nature-loving friend, she trims the branch at a slanted angle, finds a slender neck vase tucked away in the corner, and fills it with clear water. Sure enough, it begins to glow, lighting up a small corner of the room. The event is drawing near. She intends to bring this glowing branch with her today, hoping it will soothe the ripples of Fatutu's heart. Maybe this means we won't need to use as much of their composer. Fatutu! Fatutu! The room where they were making sea mother eyes together is empty now. All the sea mother eyes have been completed, neatly lined up against the wall. The palm bark shell are finely woven, carefully crafted, decorated with white seashells, and seamlessly merged with the composite root. She finished them already? Did she even sleep? Where did she go? She rushes out of the room like a stirring wind. Miss Barracola? I can't find Fatutu. Miss Fatutu? We promised to make the sea mother size together, but she finished all of them during the night, and now she's gone. Samantha frowns, thinking,
I am clear.
today's the suitcase trade fair. There will be more people around than usual. Let's split up and ask around. See if anyone's seen her. Great. The skirt flutters behind her as she dashes off in search of her friends. An open-air campsite is starting to take shape in the unproblematic suitcase trade fair. Half-open crates, rolled-up clothes, signs, standing lamps, little tents. Barracola weaves through the scattered clutter as Fatutu's name lies coiled in her tongue. So long as Fatutu can hear me, she won't just stay quiet. She inhales deeply, building up a voice that could rival any instrument, just about to shout when a hand taps her on the shoulder. Miss Barracola. The gas of air chokes her all at once, and she's left coughing uncontrollably. The culprit gently pats her, waiting for the coughing to settle.
Well,
We found Fatutu. Is she alright? Is she safe? I think she needs a bit of time to herself. Sonetta and I chose not to disturb her. She'll reach out again when the time is right. Would you be willing to be there when the moment comes? Barricola feeds answers questions in her mouth. She leaves behind only the sight of her retreating back and voice drifting from afar. Of course I would. So part 6, the longest necklace. Why hasn't my spirit shells cracked yet? The stillness of the girl sitting in the front of her contrasts with the rush of arrival. The late lies quiet, holding a long, wordless note. Miss Barricola. She pauses. Her shell necklace hangs low. Her fingers run over its ridges again and again, finding deep and familiar grooves. I remember you once said that you made the decision to leave your home all by yourself. The ocean breeze swept across the deck that night as three girls shared secrets. Some kept theirs close and others let them drift. What did that feel like? Faced with a calm and direct question, Barricola allows herself to slip into memory. She remembers when she chose to leave, standing in the plaza of Ceramona, looking out towards the river, picturing the sea beyond. A white dove took flight, skimming across rooftops. By the time it flaps again, she felt as she already boarded. Wind in her hair, heart soaring. She had never imagined someone would ask her this, perhaps to everyone else. The answer seems obvious. A daring musician who sails the waves should be fearless. But her friend is from a world so different from hers own. The answer she gives now must feel like just as strange. She hesitates. The moment hangs like the second before a symphony. It was what I wanted. I felt happy. In Ceramona, all anyone could ever talk about was the violin. I didn't want to hear just one instrument my whole life. I wanted to go everywhere, to find every instrument in the world, to hear them, to play them. It was my dream, and it still is. I think home means something different to everyone. Ceramona means something else to me now than it did before then. I do miss it sometimes. You could say it was only after leaving Cremona that I came to miss it all. Fatutu sinks her head into her shoulders. Her shells are clicking between her fingers. You're right. We live on our island, knowing nothing of the worlds beyond. And because of that, we'll never wonder what the outside was like. We were content with what was in front of us. The Nukatai don't stay away from home for long. We never ever set one course. Maybe it does mean something different. For us, it was the thing we were most afraid of losing. Afraid of drifting away from it. Never to see it again. Tutu? When we went out to sea, when we fished or planted, we only ever dealt with our own kin. We never trusted the merchants we traded with. They were always outsiders to us. Then, when the island sank, we felt us had to trust, but we trusted the wrong people and we lost our way. I started doubting things the moment I stepped on that ship. I remember you already started to think maybe the outside world hasn't as Wasn't as scary as they did. Wasn't as scary as they said. He nods almost impersonally. I saw how the crew would cry out to one another, their face so full of joy, like how Nukatai smiles after the trade season. I saw that girl, another musician girl from the suitcase. She had her own ship. She stood there so proud, so striking. And then I saw you, Baracola. People boarded the Free Breeze from all over the world, and they all stopped to listen to your music. Her words rang with so much sincerity that the musician can't quite bring herself to face her friends. Fatutu looks out over the lake, in a stare that feels calm and tangled, like a knotted rope that comes loose, only to twist again. Then I thought, if this world is really full of hate and despair, why is everyone here so happy? And if we were wrong, and the world wasn't cruel, why did it swallow our island whole? I don't think it's anyone's fault. We just lived through a storm through a storm the likes of which no one ever seen. A storm that dragged nearly everyone into the depth, without mercy. When I first left, all I really wanted was to see what instruments people in other lands played, and what kind of music they made. But before I could even find those instruments, I saw the passengers instead, and I saw that they were happy. I also noticed that so often their first requests were to ask me to play something from their homelands. Sometimes it brought them comfort, sometimes it didn't. She remembers those passengers caught in the moment of joy, followed by long, aching silence. I realize that there's no one in the world who is truly happy all the time. We all carry a little regret and a little sadness inside of us. You're right. That's something you only understand once you set sail beyond your own shore. Even so, knowing all this, we paid too high a price. She lifts her shell necklace, each piece a different shape, worn smooth by time. In Nukatayo, when you trust someone, you carefully pick out a shell, polish it with some care, and add it to their necklace. You can tell who is the most loved by who has the longest necklace. It would trail to their ankles, then wrap around their necks once, twice, 3 times over. She has one of those long shell necklaces, a symbol of the trust from the Nukutai. I always dream of having the longest necklace. And we always be in Nukatayo with my brother, Toya, and Salome. We always be there together. She holds her head steady as she tries to keep her gaze from falling into the deep waters ahead, until at last she can't carry the weight alone anymore. She folds at the waist, falling like a wilting leaf. She buries her face in her hands and trembles. Tears stream out through her fingers, falling one by one into the lake. It became a deep and sorrowful sob. I always feared what my brother told me, that if we stayed away from home too long, the shells would crack and never be whole again. He's probably gone now, total gone. He left Nukatayo, and these shells. Kamuta, brother, I wish more than anything that what you said was true. I really, really do wish it were. To be continued. So, part 7, the suitcase trade fair. Home is near.
Timekeeper?
Timekeeper, are these all the things you plan to trade at this trade fair?
Yes.
Yes, they were the only books I could find that were still in decent shape. Advanced clock repairs, the beauty of poetic cadence, mastering the art of communication. So then I glanced over the title, and flicker of surprise in her eyes. Have you read all these, Timekeeper?
Right.
I finished them. So then I flipped through the books. The pages were crisp, clearly read, but well preserved, almost new. What are you holding there, Sonata? Oh, just some collage journals. I decorated the covers. She seems unsure of how to explain her creation, opening the covers, closing them again, then opening them once more. Can you paste anything on the blank page inside? There are no rules.
I see.
I remember you used to make these back in school.
I
Ah yes, Timekeeper. It's a bit of a habit of mine.
look forward to it.
I'm sure someone at the trade fair will like them. I hope so. Timekeeper, Miss Baricola told me she and Fatutu are preparing some things in the trade as well. This is all thanks to you and Miss Baricola. I never imagined we'd be hosting a trade fair here. She looks at the stall, taking shape. Each one is fitted with a sea mother's eyes, waiting to be lit under the afternoon sun. And so many people showed up today. Oh, watch out for the potion chest. There's still a few starter hoppers in there for the potion ingredients. We guarantee that Miss Sutterby's booth is the highlight of the Jig-Jog trade fair. Also, my Typhoon charm. It has to hang right in the center. Little Typhoon will bring me tons of customers. Miss Sutterby, please close an eye on your belongings. Oh darling, don't worry. Today's trade are just for demonstrations. I wouldn't dream of going all out. A lively voice calls out from the side. Welcome, welcome. With funds presently dwindling, I've been forced to liquidate some of the most beloved inventions. A round-the-clock paperless printer, Critter's footsteps transfer analyzer, pixel conversation lens, cash accepted, as well as trades from worthy inventions. The crowd swells, the place is buzzing. The gentle melody flows through the air, opening the day's celebration. Baricola plays her crackling box. Some stop to listen, other passes by, eager to browse the bustling stall. The more still are drawn to the stall beside her. Sea Mother's eyes from Nukutayo, shell necklaces, conch whiskers, woven walking sticks, and the people who brought them from the Nukutayo These handmade items from the sea draws eyes from all around. One after another, visitors gather at the stall. Welcome, see what the Mukuntayo has to offer. These necklaces and sticks are hand-woven. We welcome all trades and traders. Browse as you like. Little by little, items are taken and more are left behind, filling the Nukutai stall. Yeah, those reading stuff are pretty fast. As dust settles, Seawater's eyes pass from one hand to hand, lighting every corner of the outdoor site. Whenever the musician plays, the light burns a little longer. The Luma branch, newly sprouted and finding a root, stands in a slender neck vase. Two Seawater eyes carved with musician motif the lies near it with special decorations. Three little typhoon lanterns trade between Sotheby and Fatutu. Sways gently with the music. In bartering, where value is judged on the spot, estimation of the trade's final worth must be assessed through future use. Number of items require high power output. Internal suitcase power supply usage 20%. Ranking low.
Perhaps.
Consider your energy here equivalently compensates. Thank you for your generosity, Madam Lucy. Don't sweat it. Before midnight, everything the Nukutai has brought is to trade is gone. Miss Fatutu, timekeeper, we're all out of things to trade. Are those what you got from the fair? He sees a few books, neatly tucked at timekeeper's side. Just the ones that they didn't get scratched, traded. I see. Timekeeper, I saved this shell necklace for you. A necklace strung with shells, a dazzling arrows of shape and color. This one follows the traditional Nukutayo style more closely. Timekeeper, all of us are truly grateful for you and the Foundation for letting us stay here. For Fatutu and all others of us who have a new home, we're so thankful. Yes, those complicated forms we never could have filled them without your help. Of course, are any of you interested in these books? The Islander squints on the title, trading though, and guess about their meanings. Clock repairs, and for the machine type they used to tell me. Fatutu steps closer, a question shining in her eyes. Timekeeper, I've been meaning to ask you something. A long time ago, my brother told me that if a Nukutai were ever to leave their home, the shell will crack. She runs her fingers along her necklace. Each shell remains intact and unbroken. I never quite understood what he means. What if he means it? We never ventured far enough to see. She passes the necklace to the Timekeeper. Even under the night sky, it gleams under the Night Mother's eyes. A quiet, distant power still flowing within, tracing every line, guiding through its grooves. I can feel it. Could it be your brother always right? It's just that you never left your home. That's why it's so simple hole. The island girl doesn't seem to have a reply or reading ready. Unlike the Nukutai's voice call from earlier. Fatutu, Timekeeper, we decided. We're keeping this one, mastering the arts of communication. He will walk over to Fatutu, wearing smiles that are similar to her as a scoop of nails. She's seen them by the bonfire on the beach, open wide in songs, riding the ocean wind. They always knew they could go home, because it was always beneath their feet, behind them, or just ahead. Could it be that's wonderful? To be continued. The last one, or last stage. A new home. The sea breeze still whispers. Salone, did you finish your book?
Um,
I did, but I didn't understand most of it. It says when facing different people, you use different greetings and even different smiles.
why?
I get the greeting part, but I guess I never noticed how smiles can be different. The book says lift your eyebrows, then curl your lips up, like this. She lifts the corner of her mouth with her fingers, trying to mimic the motion, then drops her hands and laughs. I get it. Remember how brother used to laugh like that when we had just caught a fish, or when he was climbing trees for fruit and fell out? That was another laugh, all wobbly and silly. It did seem to help the pain. Maybe we need to learn this silly kind of laugh to feel better. All we really need to do is learn to laugh again. Like this? She lets out a bold, familiar laugh. Sounds just like the old days. No one needs to teach us how to laugh. Exactly, the Nukutai people have always known how. The calm lake ripples with the sound of laughter.
When the first proverb appears on the shell, we reach the shores of elsewhere. The island, the upturned palm of Mother Sea.
The once drifting boat now beds itself in the golden sand.
When the second proverb appears on the shell, we kindle the fire, the crackling warmth, the spark of hope.
The joyful people are long blessed as one.
When the third proverb appears on the shell, we accept the sea's gift. The rolling waves, the plentiful fish.
The cool sea breeze cradles us. Fatutu, I'm heading back to the library. I'm going to start a new book. I'll tell you about it next time.
Oh.
That clock repair book was interesting after all. We're going to try our hands at it. Took us all day to read one page.
That's awesome.
What a project. The people of the Lucatayo heads off again, busy with their new lives. Fatutu remains behind, facing out at the water of the lake. Her hand reaches for her chest, to the shell necklace that holds new a piece. A music note pin dancing between waves. A miniature vintage record. A colic stamp shows the 4 seasons. A delicate silver pocket watch on a single chain. Together, they form part of a brand new necklace. The island girl closes her eyes, wondering where the wind might carry her, and softly hums a tune. Swept into the tide, scattered by the wind, gone by the mist. Let the siren songs not lead me astray. Let nightmare's voice not steal me away from home. The shell of warning keeps me on course. Its groove shows me the path. I will return. I have returned. And that's the end of Fatutu's anecdote or story. The growth of a necklace.